I'm damn sick and tired of being jerked around by American corporations. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely sick of it. If I give you some examples from my past week alone, you'll say, yeah, that happens to me too. But let's think about this for a second. Let's think about, let's start with Sears. Okay, now we've written about Sears. We've had Lynn Paramore on the show from Alternet to talk about Sears. Sears is a libertarian paradise. Sears had a CEO who decided the best thing that could happen to the corporation would be if all of its different departments and divisions competed with one another because competition and all ruthlessness is good, right? Well, Sears is now on the brink of bankruptcy. Now, I bought a Kenmore dishwasher from Sears. It's probably a $900, $1,100 piece of equipment. Okay, shiny, mechanical, new, lovely. Works fine, except there are four parts in it that cost about $1.95 each. They're plastic wheels. The plastic wheels hold up the upper rack of the dishwasher. They break. Every time they break, somebody comes in, charges me money to fix it. Finally, and when they break, the upper rack falls down on the lower rack. Okay. They won't fix it. They don't think that's part of their warranty. So you can spend $1,000 in this society and find yourself with a useless product because of $2 worth of round plastic. Now, that's corporate America. Now, in Sears' case, the incompetence has a lot to do with the radical political philosophy of the man who is now their ex-CEO. But let me give you another example. I got a bunch of examples here, but let me give you the example of, let's call it a major department store that I won't tell you what the department store is, but if you were to guess that it was the department store that Kris Kringle worked in the original Miracle on 34th Street movie, you wouldn't be wrong. Okay, so I have a credit card, which I never use for this store, so the balance is always zero. So recently the balance went to $193, which is odd because it's always zero and I haven't used it. Turns out that a number of clothing items were bought online and shipped to an address that is not mine, and they were clothing items that neither I nor anyone in my family would be likely to ever buy, demographically speaking. For example, sparkly sneakers that glow in the dark when you step on them. Okay, not really in my wardrobe, not, and by the way, not in my size, right? They're in what you might describe as an adolescent size. Okay, so that sort of thing, right? You with me? Okay, so I call them up and I tell them there's been fraud. I tell them that, it's pretty clear this is not my address. They assure me they'll look into it. Since then, every day, phone calls. This is a collection matter from the department store where Kris Kringle used to work. 5 or 6 times, I or my wife have gotten on the phone and explained that no, your fraud department has told us they're taking care of it and not to pay it. 5 or 6 times we've had to get on the phone again, and they've offered to transfer us to the fraud department. Now, here's the problem. So they send me a form to file a fraud complaint. So now it's my assignment to list all the items and why they're not mine, instead of just saying, for example, none of them are. So they made a mistake. They made a stupid mistake. They took a phone order for my account and shipped something somewhere where I don't belong. And now it's my problem. And not only that, they're about to dun me and ruin my credit over it, because in corporate America nowadays, if they screw up, it's your problem. If you screw up, it's your problem. It's always your problem. That's what happens when a corporation's government, its economy, and its society are run by greedy jerks who don't think of anything except themselves. Now, I could go on. I could talk about credit cards. I could talk about banks, and maybe later on I will. I could talk about my phone company. I could really unleash the big one and talk about my cable company, because God knows that when you give the only thing that makes a cable operator sleazier and more difficult to deal with is a cable operator with a monopoly, which is most of them now. And it's going to get better. And the administration doesn't seem to be doing anything about it. So you enjoy the economy you live in, keep it up. If you don't like it, fight the corporate state. I'm Richard RJ Eskow, and this is The Zero.